It is easier to fool people than to make people see they've been fooled. That's another worldly saying. Why am I mentioning worldly sayings here? Because worldly sayings reveal facts of how things operate in the world. Often worldly sayings reveal things partially, not completely, but partially. They reveal things that people have become unconscious to. I don't say that worldly statements are the truth, but they reveal true facts that people often ignore. And I want you to think about this. It's easier to fool people, to trick people into a deception, than to make people see they've been deceived. Why is that? Because once people have been tricked into deception, they've invested in it. And there is some short-term benefit, or let me say there's some short-term relief, because they've given in to the lie. And this short-term relief, they become attached to it. They identify with it. So, for them to realize they've been deceived means that they'll have to give up those short-term benefits. And the fact that they see through the deception already implies that they can't experience those benefits as benefits anymore. So now they need to process things, deal with stuff. And there is a way out, absolutely. But they still need to be disillusioned. And this disillusion phase is something worldly people in general want to avoid. They'd rather stick their heads in the sand, pretend nothing's going on, than have to be disillusioned, than to have their investments being annulled. Okay, let's say you earn, I'm going to Asian times now. Let's say you earn 10 denarii a week. Say you lived during the Roman Empire, you earn 10 denarii a week. That's a lot for that time. Let's say a denarii is a silver coin, a silver Roman coin. It's a day's wage. So let's say you earn 10 denarii a week. So normally you would earn 6 denarii, but you earn 10. So that's a bonus. Let's say that of that bonus, those 4 denarii, you pick them up and put them in some investment, in some shipping investment. Your basic necessities are met because you have your 6 denarii that you earn during the week. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you would find out that the shipyard you invested in was a hoax, or that it collapsed, you would think, oh man, it collapsed. It would be bad, you would feel a bit sad about it, but it wouldn't be a disaster, because you will still have 6 denarii a week. But what if, after 10 denarii, you invest 8 into that shipyard and you only keep 2 to survive with? So 8 out of 10 denarii is invested into that shipyard. Remember, the majority of the world's trade happens by sea. Today there are aircrafts, but still the majority of the heavy cargo goes by sea. And in ancient times everything went by sea, kind of. Well, there was trade by land, but most went by sea. So you invest 8 denarii of the 10. And you have to manage to survive with 2 denarii a week. What if you find out later that that whole shipyard was a hoax? That it was a scam? Now you're in big trouble. Because you fooled yourself that living with 2 denarii a week, which is really surviving. Even slaves who don't get paid have it better than you. You fooled yourself that it was worth it. And you even look down on others who did not agree with your vision. Others that really couldn't survive with 2 denarii a week, which is kind of impossible. You look down on them because they didn't have the support system to keep them going. So you look down on them to feel good about yourself. So you did all of that, going against your natural alarm. And now you have to face the true facts. You've been conned. You're never going to get back all those denarii you've invested. Neither the time that you survived on 2 denarii a week. How's this going to work out for you? Not very good, right? And not only that, the friendships you have that also invest in that shipyard, what's going to happen to those friendships? Now you're going to see that they're not really friendships, but they're just associates that need one another. You see now why it is much more easier to trick people than to make people see they've been tricked. I don't know what type of disillusionment you have to go through, just go through it. The disillusionment is short-lived. The freedom that follows is nothing to be compared to the bondage, or say the oppression you were under. This world runs on narcissistic supply. Yes, it does. That is what keeps this world going. Without the pariahs, without the sacrificial victims, without the living sacrifices to whom people can compare themselves, feel good about themselves, people wouldn't be able to endure the worldwide oppression that's going on now. People fool themselves that somehow the way the world is right now is just. Well, let them be fooled. Agree with Christ.